helping, I mean, you're the leadership staff,
Yeah.
Well,
and she's at the LEC getting information that she could easily get on the phone.
well, and she'll be in communication with myself or Roy, depending on who's in the district and who's taking charge. This all came about last fall. We had an issue in town where there was a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning, and the storm was actually ended up kind of going to the east of us, and it happened at about 4:30. So most kids were home, but we had a few kids on buses, and we had school activities going on at the high school, at KH, and at Horace Good. And what we learned in that, Tim, is this all happened, and I think Laura and I were in a meeting at the chamber, and Matt Allen was there. So Matt and I were talking some on the phone, but had that not happened, all the communication that we had, we didn't really have a system to make sure we had unified communication. So we had some of those buildings that were getting word from their sources, maybe an SRO, maybe the weather app they were looking at on their phone saying, hey, the storm's passed, we're safe to come out. And Matt's telling me, no, the warning's still in effect for Finney County. Well, if we're under a tornado warning in Finney County, Garden City, we will be sheltered in place in our schools. I don't care if the sky's blue and the sun's shining. If the Emergency Management Center says we're in a tornado warning, we will be sheltered in our schools until that tornado warning is lifted. I'm not smart enough to outguess the weatherman.
No, I understand that. I understand the concept. It just, to me, it seems like your leadership staff would want to be where the kids and employees are versus at the clear across. I mean, that's why you got technology. I mean, it's not like you got to, I guess I don't, that's just my opinion.
But technology isn't necessarily instantaneous, so it may, I mean, if Gilbert's at the LEC doing whatever it is that he needs to do, it could be 5 or 10 minutes before he calls Renee over here at the ESC and says, this is what's going on, and then it may take her another 5, 10 minutes to get in touch with somebody else. Whereas with her being there, she's knowing right then, and we're eliminating a step, and we can get those kids into safety that much quicker.
And we were fortunate that Matt and I just happened to make that connection, but Matt may be out of town on the day of the storm, so I can't always rely on him. I'm sure he'll do whatever he can, but I appreciate the fact that we've been invited to be down there, and Renee's one of our team, so she'll be in communication, and then we'll be in communication with every one of our leaders at the buildings.
But we also needed to have first-hand communication because there were people in the community, policemen as an example, that were saying it's okay for them to continue with activities, even though Mr. Allen was saying no, not to do that. So in terms of clearing the communication piece, that way we know we have first-hand information on what we should and should be doing for the safety of our kids.
There is some benefit I see to having Renee down there in that we have schools and facilities basically all over this area, and some fairly far out of town. So if there is an issue with those schools and they're not aware of it, that can be directed to her right away and get to the proper authorities for help. So I mean, there's sort of a back benefit to the district by having it there, I guess.
I have another question as well. I think Tim brought it up at the retreat about having our subs trained in Alice. That's a plan for next school year, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Back to school, we have a sub in service day at the beginning of the year. We'll have additional video training at that point.
So while we're on that, there's really two levels of the Alice training. There's that introductory kind of video, and then there's the actual simulation where you spend 2 hours where we wear long sleeves and they get out airsoft guns and we mock up simulations of what it would be like. I would really encourage you, if you haven't been through those, next year if you get the opportunity, and
smashing a chair over the head of the intruder?
Nerf balls. And what else do you guys use?
That's mostly in terms of throwing things. We actually barricade, we use whatever's in the room to practice barricade.
And it does get physical in terms of getting after the intruder. I mean, there's contact.
That's, I know when Renee and I, and Martha, I think, did it in Dodge. And were you there, what? No. What I learned is the law enforcement people in the room have a completely different outlook on all this because they've trained for it their whole life, the educators. When the horn went off to start the drill, the educators, we looked at one another saying, okay, what's the plan to barricade the door? What are our options? The law enforcement guys already had tables thrown up again. I mean, it was that fast, and they were moving. And as educators, we're going, okay, well, we need to have a plan. We did, it would have been too late by the time. So you really have to understand the people that are around you and what you need to do in a situation like that to be safe. So, and my scar is about gone. I was wounded. 6-2.
That one is to continue to evaluate and improve an ongoing capital maintenance program that will ensure clean and safe environments. And we do feel that we have made continuous progress on this initiative. The Long Range Facilities Committee was identified and began meeting this year. We went through a selection process to identify a vendor that was going to assist us with an energy maintenance performance contract. We visited about this a little bit. That's the basic premise of that is we put into place some equipment that has better efficiencies. Those efficiencies that are generated from lower utility bills and lower maintenance costs basically pay for the saving, pay for the equipment that we're putting into place. We will need to finance it probably up front, either through current capital outlay dollars or increased capital outlay dollars or traditional financing, but those are all pieces of the puzzle that we're currently looking at. At this point, the vendor that was selected has, they did a high-level look at all of our buildings. That high-level view has been reviewed. They're currently in the process of kicking back some ideas with them. We've asked for more information before we move forward with actually implementing the energy performance contract. The other thing that has happened this year is we have finally put into place a replacement for Chuck Hobby who started in May. He has attended the meetings that we've had. He has been charged with putting into place the Long Range Facilities Master Plan, which will really guide this committee in moving forward as we plan for all of the expenses that we have over the next 5, 10, 15, even 20 years. So he's here, he's got his marching orders, and we're continuing to make progress on that.
Is there a deadline for that list or like a time frame?
We don't have a time frame in place, but I do think that the vendor that's assisting us with the energy performance contracting will be able to provide him with a really good base of the major components and kind of what we're looking at as far as the age of all of the equipment that we have in place in regards to HVAC and things like that. He'll have to do some more research on when was the carpet replaced in each building and certain little things like that that will kind of add filler to that long-range facilities plan, but the committee has made it very clear that that is something that they want as soon as possible. So I know that he'll continue to be working on that, but we haven't given him a deadline.
I want to just touch on 6-3. This is the one we did the language change, so we've updated the language here to reflect law enforcement. That wasn't one of our 11, but the next one is 7-3, is it?
7-3, yes, sir. I know you guys were familiar with the process. 7-3 was to investigate schedule models, and the high school investigated several models over the course of several different years and a couple different committees. And they made a recommendation to implement a 7-period day for next year that was approved by the negotiations team and ultimately the board. So that will go into effect this coming year, and they will be monitoring it as it's implemented and making changes as we need to, working with kids, doing those kinds of things to try to address some of the issues that Mark was describing earlier. But we'll be reevaluating that as we go through, or monitoring that as we go through.
that one be completed instead of process is made? I mean, it's a done deal.
But part of we are making a change to that, but we will continue to monitor that 7 period a day and doing that, so I think that's continuous progress. We'll continue to monitor that 7 period schedule.
And the last one I think we had was 8.1.
Yeah, goal 8.1 is basically technology. It's looking at new software and it's assessing the needs of our staff and students, and we feel like we did make continuous progress on that. In addition to the website that you guys talked about a little bit ago, Kansas has a new reading initiative, iStation, that we checked out at a couple of schools. Technology worked with them very closely to see how it's going to work. Data results were very positive with that, and that was taken to the curriculum council and was approved to put on the curriculum protocol this year. So in addition to that, technology presented a lot of different options at the professional development day. You know, teachers are always saying we want to know more about technology, how that works, and I think they were very pleased with the offerings that they had this time. So, continuous progress.
Thank you very much. Any questions? Ready to switch? Okay, time for a board open discussion. Anyone have any?
Can I ask what this is about? Is that,
That's the resolution to change the election cycle that we approved during the consent agenda.
okay, so is it, can I ask questions about it, or should I do that later? Because I'm sorry that I expanded recently. So just sign it, because we voted, sign.
No. What are your questions?
I'm sorry, I guess I just don't like, why are we changing?
The
Why is it-
legislature approved a change to move local elections, so city, county, and school board from April to November, with the terms to begin in January. And that will go into effect this next election cycle.
So that did happen. I thought that was something that was voted against when they talked about.
It did, and then it got brought back.
And that one happened last year. And
The one that got,
The law got passed last year, and so the next board election will happen in the fall of 17.
with
And-
the regular,
Right.
Yes.
Well, it's in the odd numbered years, not the even,
Right,
but it will
right.
be in the fall. But then the elected board members will take their position the 1st of January of 2018. So a few of you get your terms, lucky ones, get your terms extended by 6 months. Instead of being done in July, that term will just continue throughout the fall and will end at the end of December.
thank you.
Anything else for board open discussion? The next meeting of the Board of Education will take place on Thursday, June 30th, 2016 at 7:30 a.m. here in the board meeting room. I believe that we have an executive session. So we've got two
You want it?
things. It's only under one topic, but we've got two things.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's like we say tonight. So.
I think we can just.
I have no time on it, till 9. Yeah, okay. I move we go into executive session till 9 o'clock to discuss the following matters of non-elected personnel and their contractual obligations, because if this matter were discussed in open session, it might invade the privacy of those discussed.
There's a motion to go into executive session. Is there a second? Second by Mark. All those in favor, please raise your hand. And